Milepost 29, Midvale. Yes, sir, that's correct. He just left on the 4:15 with all the proper paperwork. Yeah, he did seem a little lost there for a while, but he knows where he's going now. Okay, you're welcome. Goodbye. Oh, hello, young man. Where are you headed?
Who are you?
I'm the station agent.
But this station's been abandoned for over 20 years. I used to watch trains here with my father when I was a kid.
Appearances can be deceiving. This station is as vibrant and alive as the day it opened, and people and trains pass through here in a carnival of light and sound every day. It just so happens you missed the afternoon local, so it's a little empty right now.
What do you do here?
I make sure things run smoothly. I issue tickets, I handle railway express packages, I even clean and polish the spittoons. There's an agent like me in every station on every line in the world, and we're there 24/7 to help weary passengers such as yourself get to their destination. But enough about me. Where are you headed?
I'm not sure. I don't even know why I'm here.
Oh, that's a bit of a dilemma. Did you make your travel plans at the last minute? Were you on your way to see a family member? Do you remember anything at all?
I think I was on my way to see my mother.
My mother. I marvel at her. I often wonder what makes a mother toil and trouble for the well-being of their sons and daughters without expecting anything in return. It takes thoughtfulness, patience, creativity, and time. They have a duty to lead the way for the children they brought into this world, and they own that responsibility with every breath of their being. My mother is like that. I think she can be summed up by the small acts of kindness and love that she performed every day. Then came the day she went to the hospital for stent surgery. I got a call saying that there were complications that I needed to get to the hospital right away. A torrent of thoughts flooded my head. Will she regain consciousness? Was she aware of what was going on? Would I ever be able to talk to her again? Will the operating room light and the stare at strangers be the last thing she sees before leaving us? Even though the complication was remedied, and she's now doing fine, I can't help but imagine how I feel after she really is gone. Will I be flipping through an old photo album, see a picture of her from an earlier time, and then be overwhelmed with the feeling of complete loneliness, knowing that the person who brought me into this world now only existed in my memory? Will I look at something she wrote and feel the melancholy knowing that what once was important to her was now just fading ink and yellowing paper? Will she have left this earth knowing that I was happy with the way she raised me?
What about your father?
The one thing I do remember is how much I admired my father. If you didn't know him, you would think he was unfriendly and distant, since he was never really smiling. But once you got to know him, you could instantly tell he had a good heart. He was always there to drive me to Saturday morning bowling league, or give me some spending money for a Friday night out with friends. I remember how every Saturday we would walk down to the junkyard to see if we could find anything to salvage. And if my mom didn't feel like making dinner that night, we'd grab a couple sandwiches at the local deli and go down to the train station and watch the trains go by. Then, there was that terrible morning when my father screamed in pain as he fell from his bed. He had been complaining of what he thought was a pinched nerve for a few weeks and was getting around with a walking cane, but whatever it was, suddenly decided to bring him to his knees in agony. After the ambulance took him to the hospital, he asked me to go home and get his walking cane, since he had forgotten it in all the confusion. That's when we found out that the cancer had silently eaten away his spine to the point where he would never need the cane again. A few weeks later, when his kidneys failed from the radiation and chemotherapy, we knew it was only a matter of hours, so we decided to bring him home. During the ambulance ride, he reached out and held my hand, and he told me he was afraid. I didn't know what to say. I told him that I loved him, but in his condition, I always wondered if he understood me. I was so exhausted and emotionally drained that I fell asleep on the couch, and then, 3:16 a.m., I woke up to the voice of my sister-in-law telling me my father had stopped breathing. I remember feeling relieved that he was no longer suffering.
I'm sorry. Is there anything I can do?
Yes, there is something you can do. You can answer me this. If God is supposed to be compassionate, why did he let my father suffer? Why couldn't he have taken him in his sleep on a cool breeze through an open bedroom window? Instead, my father faced the unknown in pain and cried out for his mother. Why? Why must God make people terrified in their final moments?
Evan, I think that most people are far too willing to let bad experiences shape their views than good ones. But I truly believe it's better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. God knows about every bird that falls to the ground, but he doesn't always keep it from falling. So when we experience suffering, the loss of health and youth, the loss of loved ones, the fear that we'll end our days alone, we can still learn how to be strong while we're weak, how to be brave when we're afraid, how to be wise in the midst of confusion, and how to let go of that which we can no longer hold. It is through trial and tribulation that we finally enter the kingdom of heaven. Milepost 29, Midvale. Yes, I was just about to call you. I haven't heard anything yet from Milepost 26 on the wire, so I'm assuming she's on time. Yeah, I agree. A questioning soul deserves a ticket. I'll take care of it. Thank you. I think I know where you're headed, Evan. Okay. One-way ride. No transfer. Since you only hit the rear of a parked truck. One ticket needed. It's your train, son. It's like passing quietly through the gate in a pasture fence. No struggle. No pain, just the lifting of a plank in a simple wooden gate. On the other side, you keep walking without the need to look back. Just the silent crossing of a meadow.
I wish I had said that to my father.
Please say hello to your father for me when you see him. He sounds like he was a good man.
I will. And when you see my mother, please tell her I'm sorry for missing dinner, and that I love her very much.
Goodbye, Evan. Farewell on your journey.